There's an original one. Okay, we have one CD out called Carnival World, and they just recorded their second one. They've been in studios down in Nashville. They're live from there, and we're going to have somebody tell us a little bit about that and the messages that are in the songs and when that'll be out and all types of things about that album. Who wants to start?
I'll start, I guess. The new album's self-entitled. It's just going to be Seraiah, and it's going to be coming out in May on Star Song Records. Yeah, that's...
Okay. Quentin, why don't you tell us about any touring plans from that? Or
touring plans? Well, we're planning on going to Central America the end of March. Going to be playing in El Salvador and possibly Guatemala, maybe Costa Rica. And then starting the middle of May, we're going to hit the East Coast for probably about 4 to 6 weeks. Then hopefully throughout the summer we may go to Texas and the West Coast.
Okay. All right. Why don't we ask Tracy, who's sitting quietly over to my far right, about his favorite song on the album and the message it portrays.
My favorite song really came about in the studio when it really came together was Angry Young Boy. Doesn't have to do with the fact that there's bass, a lot of bass in it, but hey, you know, it just happened that way. I like that message a lot because I can really relate to it, and even though I didn't write the lyrics, I believe Brad wrote the lyrics for that one. Oh, Kyle. I meant
I'm
Kyle.
Angry boy.
Okay. I really think those lyrics are very deep, and I can very much relate to those. So that's my favorite song, and that's my comment.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks a lot. And now we're going to ask Brad, why you four guys and not some other four? What brought you together? And how long have you been doing it and that type of thing? Just a little research on the band.
Well, the band's been together about 5 or 6 years now, and why us four guys? I don't know. I guess that's just how the Lord worked it out, was that Kyle and Quentin are the only two original members of Seraiah. I joined about three years ago, I think it was.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
Three years ago this month? Wow, it's like an anniversary.
This day.
This very minute, right now.
And Tracy joined about, what, 6 or 7 months ago, I think it was?
The afterthought.
It's the afterthought. I don't know, I guess God just saw to use our talents, even though, you know, we give all the glory to Him. And that's why.
All right, thanks, Brad. And now I want to ask whoever wants to answer this, what are your thoughts on death metal and the heavier stuff out there that is not Christian, but yet not satanic, just that people like to listen to? Who wants to answer it?
Tracy wants to answer.
No.
No?
I was really daydreaming. There's a guy out there making vulgar...
Anyway, I'll answer it. I think that stuff is no good, stuff like death metal and stuff like that, you know. If you can, I would choose to listen to Christian music or something that wasn't along that lines, because it'll bring you down, and we know that from experience, and I just recommend that, you know, man. There's a lot of great Christian music out there to choose from, or anything else, man, you know. I don't know, Perry Como, something like that.
Just keep in mind that if it's not for God, it's against God, and that's the main thing. That's how you can, if you've got any questions about anything, if it's just related to the Bible, if it doesn't measure up to what God says in His Word, if it's not for Him, it's against Him, and just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Can I make a comment?
Sure you can.
You know, I have really, I don't know, got into Christian music a lot on the radio and things, and I spent a lot of my time listening to Christian music on the radio. And to think that I'm actually listening to this mellow stuff that really lifts me up to the Lord, it's unbelievable. If I look back 5 years ago and I thought to myself, I'm going to be listening to Twilight Paris, I'd be like, no way. But there's a feeling that when I listen to those lyrics that really lift my heart up, and I know that the music of our band does that. When I listen to it, I get really energized to go out and be a good witness for the Lord, and I think that's one good thing that can come out of music like ours. Thanks.
All right, great comment. Okay, just about 2 more questions, and we won't have too much of their time because they got to get back to their home state tonight. Okay, now, how do you feel you're getting your message across to the people? Do you feel it's going over real well, or can you go a little farther with it, as in that type of thing?
I think on this album it's going to go even farther because we're going even more into a style of music that appeals to a lot more people. You know, we're not just trying to be considered a heavy metal band. We're a rock and roll band, and we've taken a lot of other different influences on this album and compacted it into it. And I think the message, you know, we've seen a lot of results and we've seen fruit on our last tour. I think we saw like 30 people make commitments, you know, out of the 15 shows we have, which to us that's fantastic. But we're expecting to see a lot more results as God uses this album and uses us in, you know, a totally new direction, hopefully.
Okay, thanks, Brad. And one more question for you before we go tonight. Do you feel there's limits put on you because you're a Christian band and you're not played on a lot of the radio stations, or as many as you could be? Or do you feel that it's out there enough that people can grasp it? You know, something along that line there. Whereas if you could maybe get your music played on more secular stations, that the message would get there a lot quicker, you know, a shorter route that way.
I think we are limited to a certain extent as far as what you said about not being played on secular radio, but what we're really trying to emphasize is that Christian people need to go out and they need to one-on-one take that message to people. You know, we're really out there trying to fire up Christian people to get them to use the things that are available to them, Christian music and concerts and different things, to really get their neighbors, friends, you know, co-workers, whoever, just to let them know about God. And you know, it does limit us, but there's a lot of avenues for Christian music. There's Christian music festivals. I mean, there's the music's available in stores and concerts and Christian radio. I mean, it's available to the Christians, and we really feel that it's up to
the individual.
Yeah, to the individual to go out and share that message that we in turn have shared with them.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have anything that I didn't mention that they want to get out there?
Sure.
Okay.
Another afterthought. Hi. With what Kyle was mentioning about, you know, it's great to have, you know, an alternative entertainment. And, you know, we can't be the only ones to go out and try to win souls for people. We definitely have a burden to do that, but it's important for the Christians who are already in a relationship with the Lord to follow up on the people from place to place that we go, to help support our ministry in prayer and just lift us up to the Lord, because we definitely get attacked by the enemy every day because we're out doing something that the enemy doesn't want us to be doing. And I just want to encourage each and every one of you out there to lift us up in prayer. And if you see somebody go to a show, whether it's us or any other band that you're interested in it's a Christian band, why don't you take some time to see and pray about, does the Lord want me to help follow these people up and encourage them? Maybe I could even be a disciple to this person. So keep your eyes out and your heart open to those people.
Any other comments from this side?
Coming to you in May, Seraiah's new album.
Okay, he took the words right out of my mouth. This is Seraiah, and ladies and gentlemen, please get their new album, because I've heard some new material off of it tonight, and it's great, and it's out there, and you'll be able to pick it up in every record store. And we just like to thank Tracy, Kyle, Quentin, and Brad for giving CMTV this interview.